Holy fuck, dude!
There are also some special new jewelry base types that you can rarely receive from.
Oh, they're back, boys! Did you just say itemized?
The power of their minions came from the skill and support gems. This led to a few problems.
I'm sorry, Gassy. That they're bringing everything back and changing everything.
The Lake of Kalandra expansion
How does
contains 14
GGG
new
do
unique
it in
titles.
3 months?
In addition to the Kalandra's Touch ring.
How? Hello and welcome to my reaction to Path of Exile's 3.19 expansion, Lake of Kalandra. Let's go. Lake of Kalandra.
Exile, you have wandered far to arrive at the shores of my lake.
Oh.
A hidden realm I have overseen for longer than time itself.
Oh. Okay.
Its waters harbor deadly secrets.
Where's this new main content? It mixes old content with new. With, like that.
Rayclast is reflected here. Reassemble it as you see fit. But the mirror distorts reality. Beware the image that strikes back.
I couldn't even read that fast. I was just so fascinated by the UI. Endgame Atlas memories? Excuse you, what on earth? Uh-huh. There it is! There it is! Trickster Rework! Beyond Rework!
Calls you, Exile. Will you endure? Or will you drown?
Are you gonna bring back a Scourge? No fucking way, dude. Wait, what the fuck? That looked like Scourge, right? That looked like... Oh my god, the actual remove. Oh my god, Beyond changes everything. Holy heck. It was really fun reacting to this live and chatting with my viewers. So if you don't want to miss that the next time, which is in 3 months, very likely, you know, here you go. There's the link. As always, they had their 30-minute presentation, but I do not just want to upload their content, you know, like literally stealing them and being like, whoa, every 5 minutes. So I will just give you the highlights of what I find interesting, what was fun, what surprised me, and just overall the amazing stuff they have been working on in the past 3 months. It is literally insane.
In the Kalandra Challenge League, you will travel to the mirrored lake that granted Kalandra her powers of reflection. We want you to experience the story for yourself, so I'll avoid spoiling the details here.
Thank you.
When you
Love
get
you,
to
Chris.
explore the league next week, you'll find out more about Kalandra and her motivations. Your experience with Kalandra so far is probably of her coveted mirror, which duplicates items by reflecting them.
Beautiful frame.
The lake itself has the power to reflect entire encounters from elsewhere in Rayclast. As you explore the lake, these reflections emerge from its mirrored surface.
Looks so good.
Sometimes these reflections are encounters with hordes of monsters. And sometimes you'll encounter extremely powerful foes, reflected from elsewhere in Rayclast.
Oh.
Often, reflections involve league content, such as this encounter with a Harbinger boss.
Yep, makes sense.
As you play through the league, you'll occasionally encounter a set of columns protruding from the ground, with a mirrored tablet on top. This tablet invites you to construct a custom set of encounters at the Lake of Kalandra, offering a series of different reflections to place in whatever layout you wish.
Okay.
Each of these reflections represents an encounter that you must defeat when you next travel to the lake. Once you have assigned a reflection to every location on your mirror tablet, which will take a few areas, you can open a portal to the Lake of Kalandra itself.
Oh, it reminds me a little bit of Synthesis.
There you will get to experience these reflections of Rayclast as Kalandra manifests each encounter you have chosen.
Oh boy.
But as you push farther out onto the lake-shrouded waters, you will find each encounter to be more difficult, but more rewarding. This difficulty value counts up by 1 for each location away from the entrance the encounter is.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, I like that.
Players wanting the best rewards will try to engineer tablets that have long, windy strings of encounters, reaching very high difficulty values by the end. To do this, there are occasional options that can be chosen which allow you to move and swap the entrance, reflections, and water tiles on the tablet.
Okay. Okay. But what does difficulty
Additionally, as you progress through the league, you'll be able to unlock special abilities that let you manipulate the options you have available on each tablet. If you don't like any of the choices available to you, you can earn the ability to skip picking one entirely.
Mm-hmm.
The next ability is even stronger. It lets you re-roll the list of options so that you can immediately pick another one.
Reminds me a little bit of like roguelike games, right?
Finally, you can earn the ability to exile a choice entirely. For the rest of this tablet, that choice will no longer appear.
It's pretty good. If you don't like a certain
Once
type
you
of
reach
content.
maps, you'll be able to itemize
Or
your mirrored
bosses.
tablets so that they don't have to be played immediately. They can be stored for later or traded with other players. As you visit the Lake of Kalandra to attempt your mirrored tablets, there are many types of rewards you can find. An encounter that is based on a past league implicitly grants the rewards from that league, but with extra juice so that you're not missing out on bonuses you'd have obtained if your Atlas tree applied to the lake.
Very good.
Other encounters that aren't based on past leagues generally yield a reward chest that rises out of the lake when you complete the encounter.
That has huge
Certain
roguelite
reflections
feelings.
grant you access to a new variation on rare items, exclusive to the Kalandra Challenge League. When you complete the encounter, you'll get access to some reflecting mist, which presents you with a difficult choice. It generates a rare ring or amulet with an unusual set of mods.
What the?
Some are very high, and some are very negative, which hurt your character.
That's a level of Scourge.
The item is then duplicated, with a reflected copy having inverse mods. Negative ones are now positive, and vice versa. The amount that all of these mods are scaled up by is based on the difficulty of the encounter you just completed.
Yeah.
You may only pick one of these items to keep. It'll often be a tough choice, with each item having its own strong pros and cons. But sometimes, you'll be offered an item where the negative mods aren't downsides for your build, and the juiced up positive mods are very attractive.
Holy fuck, dude!
There are also some special new jewelry base types that you can rarely receive from this process.
Holy fuck, 136 lives.
One rare and difficult encounter rewards you with an advanced version of this crafting process. It allows you to bring your own ring or amulet, distorting and reflecting it with the same process described before.
Plus 2 level of fire skills? No.
Mods are scaled up in value and some are randomly negated. The reflected
Fucking
copy
hell,
has the inverse set of negations. It will certainly be tempting to gamble with some of your best jewelry to try to double the values that really matter for your build and negate the ones you don't care about.
What the fuck?
If you're very lucky, you may find a special League-exclusive unique ring at the lake. Kalandra's touch mirrors the effect of your other ring.
Oh.
The Kalandra Challenge League has something for everyone. It's an out-of-area combat league where you build your own sequences of encounters. It lets you fully dictate your desired level of risk and reward and fully customize what content you play. It features a powerful crafting system, valuable rewards, and offers a glimpse into the lore of one of Path of Exile's most iconic characters. We can't
Nice.
wait to play it with you next week.
Nice.
In every expansion
Well
leading
done.
up to Path of Exile, they aren't a league feature, they're part of the core game, affecting standard and persisting once the Kalandra League has ended.
Okay.
In maps, you'll very rarely find a memory item, which represents a set of memories that an NPC has about their past. Something special happened to them while exploring maps, and you're able to experience those events for yourself.
What?
In this Atlas memory, Kraken
Jesus.
tells you about the time that he stumbled across a staging ground for a Harbinger invasion of Rayclust. Each successive map you play in the sequence has more and more Harbinger portals and invaders that you must deal with.
Oof.
This is a memory of Nikos, where he entered a sequence of maps that were entirely consumed by permanent breaches, like a Breachlord's domain. He survived to talk about it, but will you? Right-click a memory and apply it to a completed map on your Atlas. It'll mark out a series of adjacent maps that the Atlas memory will span. When you next talk to the relevant NPC in your hideout, they'll tell you about their recollections and will allow you to start exploring the memory. Each map in the sequence is provided for free by the NPC, and you'll be able to roll it like usual before running it.
Very good.
Because these maps are memories of the NPC, they are not affected by your Atlas tree. However, the content is generally as difficult and rewarding as a fully specialized Atlas tree would cause it to be.
That would be interesting how they scale.
Each successive map in the sequence gets harder and more rewarding as the memories intensify. While memories are tradable, they're also very rare and valuable, so you'll probably want to complete them yourself if you can.
Makes sense.
For players who love lore, Atlas memories help expand on the backstory of key NPCs.
Poggers.
For players wanting to try out different League mechanics at quite high levels of juice that they haven't specialized their Atlas for, memories let them do this without a bunch of respecking. And for everyone else, Atlas memories are a great way to earn some valuable items, if you're strong enough to complete them. The Lake of Kalandra expansion also contains a new unique map that I'm quite excited about. The Trialmaster is back. This boss from Ultimatum, and more importantly the unique items he drops, have been sorely missed and will be making a return as the Tower of Ordeals unique map in Lake of Kalandra.
What the
This
fuck?
map can be created by completing difficult endgame Val content. We have not forgotten about the rest of Ultimatum and a specific plan for how it will return in the future.
Okay. That they're bringing everything back and changing everything.
The Lake of Kalandra
Did-
expansion
how
contains
does
14
GGG
new
do
unique
it in
items.
3
In
months?
addition to the Kalandra's Touch ring
How?
that is exclusive to the Kalandra Challenge League, we have introduced a new endgame Pinnacle boss reward, a supporter unique, the Tower of Ordeals unique map, 6 new Grand
magic.
Spectrum
It's
jewels,
just magic.
and even some leveling uniques.
Okay.
Ghost Wraith is a leveling unique which allows you to play as an almost pure energy shield character during early parts of the campaign. We'll reveal the other new unique items in this expansion over the next week. We feel that there are 2 big problems with unique items at the moment. The first is that you find too many, and the second is that they are generally pretty useless when you do. Sure,
Yeah.
there are some powerful endgame or build-enabling uniques that feel amazing to find, but the majority of unique items found throughout the game are rarely actually useful to you.
Yeah, especially later on. It's like in
In the
Nets.
Lake
It's
of
like,
Kalandra expansion, we have made a lot of changes here. We have reduced the overall drop rate of uniques throughout the game and have rebalanced and overhauled over 100 existing unique items, with an emphasis on uniques in the core drop pool, including leveling uniques and some endgame uniques.
cool.
You're going to find unique items less frequently now, but when you do, they're going to be a lot more punchy.
Okay, will be interesting. Question mark?
Lightning Conduit is another new shock-themed spell. A wave propagates out from the target location, causing lightning bolts to strike all shocked enemies in a large area. The damage is scaled by the strength of the shock on each enemy. Lightning Conduit cannot itself shock and won't hit non-shocked enemies at all, so the challenge with this skill is to find a way to consistently apply powerful shocks to your targets to make the most of Lightning Conduit's high damage potential and area of effect.
That if they add a cast on shock, I will come.
Last but not least, Overcharge. The larger context here is that we've been re-examining what role rare and magic monsters have in Path of Exile. The introduction of Archnemesis modifiers as the monster mod pool prompted quite a lot of discussion about how often you should encounter rare and magic monsters, how difficult they should be to kill, and how rewarding their death should be. Previously, League content made fights hard by spawning a lot of rare monsters. A whole lot. In some cases 6 to 8 times the normal rate of rare monsters. Now that we have better mods available to make fights against rare monsters individually challenging, we have gone through the whole game and normalized the rate that rare monsters are spawned at. Some leagues had quite large reductions in spawn rate. You won't encounter situations with dozens of rare monsters on screen at once anymore. Alongside this reduction of how many rare monsters you'll face, we have improved their rewards and made sure that they scale with both difficulty of the encounter and any item rarity or quantity bonuses that you have. During the campaign, you'll only encounter 1 and 2 mod rare monsters. The 2 mod encounters are a bit harder and have better drops.
Good.
In maps, you'll stop encountering 1 mod rare monsters entirely, and will mostly encounter 2 and 3 mod rare monsters. It'll also
Okay.
be possible to encounter 4 mod rare monsters again. Not only are the innate item drop bonuses scaled up significantly on monsters with many mods, but we have made these challenging encounters rewarding in another way too.
Please. Because they weren't rewarding.
About a third of the more powerful Archnemesis modifiers now use a special reward conversion system. For example, if you defeat a monster with a Corruptor mod, all of its drops become corrupted.
Okay, makes sense.
The Solaris Touched mod converts all of its item drops to maps.
There it is. Good.
Beyond was introduced in August 2014, initially as a hardcore-only challenge league. It's 8 years old
2000.
now and certainly has several issues.
8 years. God damn.
Firstly, the art. Have you ever really taken a close look at a Beyond Demon? It is literally a bandit from Act 2, dunked in red paint. The second issue is its balance. The number of magic and rare monsters spawned is so much higher than the rest of the game, and whatever problems that resulted in before are magnified now that rare monsters are meant to be more difficult.
Yep.
Beyond also spawns way too many unique bosses, which causes its own set of issues. In Lake of Kalandra, we have given Beyond much more than a fresh coat of paint. The Scourge have taken over the realm of the Beyond Demons. The old bandit Beyond Demons are gone. Summoning monsters from Beyond will now summon Scourge monsters and bosses. We have completely rebalanced the rate that Beyond monsters and bosses spawn at so that it's appropriate for modern Path of Exile.
Good
The
lord.
new Beyond monsters can now occasionally drop the Scourge League's tainted currency items that allow you to modify corrupted items.
Oh, they're back, boys. Ooh.
We've also completely revamped how harvest crafting works.
God, if a
Rather than being presented with a
Scourge
selection
boss
of crafting
spawns,
options
I
that
will
must be used
shit my
immediately,
pants.
you now receive itemized tradable life force of the appropriate color.
What? Did you just say itemized?
This life force can be used later, in your own time, at the Hoarder crafting bench in your hideout. Its crafting options are now priced in terms of this itemized life force currency. Tier 4 bosses are now encountered much more frequently and can drop a key to fight a Shabi. She yields special life force
Spoiler?
that can be used for a specific set of crafts.
Sorry, Mitch.
We have rebalanced all harvest crafts for the new system and have removed a bunch of filler crafts and some ones with deterministic outcomes that were incredibly RNG gated before.
Okay.
Some crafts that provided access to exclusive content, like the special offerings to the goddess, have been removed because these items can now be found in more appropriate locations elsewhere in the game. The result of these changes is that when you
What?
complete a harvest, you aren't presented with 30 crafts which must either be used immediately or unsafely traded to some player you found on a community Discord server. It also means that every bit of life force you receive is going towards a craft that you actually want to use on one of your items, when you're ready to use it. Your interaction with the Sacred Grove is now far simpler as well. Just enter, pick your plots, defeat the monsters, and get on with your mapping.
Alright.
Like with Archnemesis and beyond, we have also addressed the monster composition of Harvest's fights, so that
Good.
it doesn't contain too many rare monster mods, and so that it is of appropriate difficulty for its rewards.
Very good.
In addition, the rewards for Harvest now scale with map quantity and pack size, incentivizing you to juice your maps. Previously, the crafts you received were not scaled up at all if you played a harder map.
What the fuck?
Last week, we posted this expansion's character balance manifesto, which detailed the many changes we're making in Lake of Kalandra.
Holy shit.
There are plenty more changes, which we will include in the full patch notes that will be posted after this live stream.
Yes!
But on this stream, I'd like to talk about a few specific
Wait,
areas.
patch notes after the
Minion
stream?
Itemization, Exalted and Divine Orbs.
I'm gonna go to
and
bed
the
in
Trickster
4 hours,
Ascendancy
boys.
Class. Historically, minion builds have not been particularly reliant on the stats of their items.
Oh.
Most of the power of their minions came from their skill and support gems. This led to a few problems. Firstly, it gave them a bit of a free ride compared to most other character builds.
I'm sorry,
And
Gassy.
secondly, it meant that it was hard for minion players to actually specialize their character to be really, really good. We want to solve both of these problems in this expansion. Path of Exile is a game about items, and that means that you will now be strongly rewarded for finding items that make your minions better. It also means that, like with other builds, if you find good items, you'll be far more damaging and survivable than before. I also wanted to discuss two of the rarest currency items in Path of Exile.
Hello, what?
Divine Orbs and Exalted Orbs.
Hello, what?
These actually have the same drop rate, but Exalted Orbs are worth so much more in trade.
Wait, what?
Because
They
there's
have?
no easy vendor recipe for them, and because they're
Interesting.
consumed when you craft certain meta mods onto items. Out of these two currency items, we would actually prefer the Divine Orb effect to be rarer, so that unique items with good rolls matter more, and so that players can exalt craft their items more frequently.
No way.
We are making two changes that will impact this. Firstly, we are changing the cost of crafting meta mods so that they cost Divine Orbs rather than Exalted Orbs.
Okay. But what happens today?
Secondly, we are changing the 6-link vendor recipe to grant 20 Orbs of Fusing rather than a Divine Orb.
Okay. That changes stuff.
This change will result in Exalted Orbs being far more available for crafting, and Divine Orbs less available for re-rolling mods on items. It'll certainly be interesting to see what the de facto trade currency becomes next league.
Uh-huh. Very interesting. Rip ambush, boys.
In this expansion, we have reworked the Trickster with a focus on establishing thematically appropriate defenses and ways to manipulate speed. One step ahead allows the Trickster to manipulate time in an interesting way. Enemies are slower than normal and cannot have their action speed raised above this value, such as through an acceleration shrine. Conversely, the Trickster is faster by default and cannot have action speed lowered below this value,
What the
effectively
fuck?
making them immune to effects that lower action speeds such as freeze, chill, or temporal chains. Spellbreaker ties together spell suppression and energy shield in a powerful way. Spellbreaker grants some spell suppression chance, which is an effect that reduces damage taken from spells. The skill also starts your energy shield recharge half the time you suppress spells. Since Trickster characters tend to have a high evasion rating, you will be evading some hits and recharging on others, meaning that your energy shield recharge stays active most of the time.
Yep, Trickster League. Yep.
Spellbreaker also further improves defenses
Trickster for the
by
next
reducing
5
the
years,
damage
boys.
you take from suppressed spells while on full energy shield.
This is a good Anif. Be happy, Anif. This is good.
The Blood Scouring Cloak absorbs blood as you slay monsters. It tracks your kill streak and cleans itself off when the slaughter ends.
Oh, that is so... Oh my god, dude.
The Ring of the Victor causes a podium to rise up underneath you when you are standing still,
Okay.
elevating you above other players.
Dude. Okay, calm down now, okay. Now it's pay to win. Now it's pay to be cool. Jesus. So much stuff, dude. Yeah, Trickster League, everyone? Question mark, you know? A character that can't be slowed down to a certain point. That is absolutely busted. Especially now later on in the game, as you may or may not know. Because things become so... Like, there's slows everywhere now in the game. So being able to just say, no, is just amazing. Absolutely amazing. As mentioned, these were just the highlights. I highly recommend watching the full live stream yourself. It's 30 minutes, it's super informative, it's well edited, and it goes into some crazy in-depth stuff sometimes, which of course spoilers a little bit of the league, but also hypes you a little bit up, and you're like, oh, okay, that's gonna be super interesting, you know? So it's just kind of like teases you a little bit, so I enjoyed it. In addition to that, CKD also had again a Q&A with Chris Wilson, which was super informative, and they punched a little bit back, you know, to chat, because chat loves to spam one word. It was mostly Headhunter and Melee, but but jokes aside, it was really fun, it was really good seeing them both, and I hope I can wait until next week. Fuck. And we got the patch notes as well right after that, which I also read through. I will link my VOD in the description, as well as all the other links down below. Highly recommend checking them out, especially pathofexile.com/Kalandra, which gives you a nice big overview of all the things, with a couple screenshots and everything. So if you don't want to like look through the 30 minutes like of the live stream, and you feel like, I don't want to like listen to it right now, and you just want to scroll through some stuff, the website is perfect for that. It's kind of like a nice middle ground, I feel like. I will leave you to your, I don't know, PUB extravaganza the next few days, and I will happily steal your build on Friday right before the stream, which is again under this link, so go check it out. Go check out the stream. Do it. Okay, I'm gonna go now and edit this video as quickly as possible. Bye.